Ora boas pessoal, uma semana e meia sem vídeos, maldito tempo. Enfim, voltamos aqui ao ativo e começamos logo aqui com um vídeo no mínimo estranho, no mínimo, muito mínimo mesmo. Isto passou-se na China aparentemente no dia 19 de Fevereiro e pá, um bocadinho esquisito. Um bocadinho grande esquisito. Isto fez-me lembrar o filme com o Dennis Quaid que eu já falei, que é... como é que chama o filme? Agora não me lembro. Em que as coisas congelam ao segundo. Muito bom. Esse filme é muito bom. Muito bom, muito bom. E pelos vistos está a acontecer aqui um bocado na China. Uma situação esquisita com pouco sentido, mas de qualquer forma fica aqui o videozinho, espero que gostem e até já.
Did you guys hear about China's weather anomaly? This broke all records, you guys. In less than 24 hours, the temperature dropped from 6 Celsius to negative 52, y'all. Check this out, and because of this, it froze thousands of waterfowls, y'all.
In just 24 hours, the temperature dropped from 6 degrees Celsius to minus 30 degrees Celsius in Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region in China. Wind gusts reached 150.
Very interesting how certain parts of the planet are receiving these certain type of weather anomalies, y'all. I really had to slow this down to see these, these waterfowls, but they're really like, they're submerged and stuck in these ice, their heads and everything, y'all. That's crazy. Look at that. Thousands of them, y'all. This weather anomaly junk is serious, y'all. Whether it be a weather anomaly, HARP, cyclical, we know the only thing that's constant in the universe is change. Change is the only thing that's constant. So the earth is going through a change right now, and as are we, because we feel it. We feel it going, like our immune system is literally being, how can I say, our immune system is being tested every single day. Every single day our immune system is being tested. Y'all see what's going on in the sky. Y'all see the war in the heavens. This is the war in the heavens right now. The sun is literally fighting for us. But yeah, that's China. And then again, like, these weather anomalies are happening in specific places over and over again. What do you guys think about that? Let me know what you guys think about this video. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during this interesting time. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. You already know we're in the shift, y'all. So let's get it. Peace in.
Bem, neste vídeo realmente isto há que pensar porque já houve um mapa nos anos 1500 que diziam exatamente como era a Antártida antes de estar repleta de gelo. Ou seja, já houve alguém que conseguiu mapear algo que ninguém sabe muito bem como é que foi feito, obviamente, que já conseguiu mapear algo antes do gelo. E que eventualmente com a tecnologia que temos, por incrível que pareça, o mapa está praticamente correto. Fica aqui alguém a falar sobre isto. Isto é no programa do Joe Rogan e supostamente bem entendido, e fica aqui um videozinho, espero que gostem. Até já.
One of the things I find most striking is the presence of Antarctica on ancient maps, because we didn't discover it until 1820, and yet it's on maps drawn in the 1500s with great detail, which again were based on much older source maps that have now been lost to us. The astonishing thing is the so-called Pinkerton world map, drawn I think in 1813 or 1818, based on the latest exploration data at that time. And where Antarctica is, it just shows a hole where Antarctica is. Because it was an honest map. Nobody had found it by then. But if you go back to, for example, the Wolsey-Willer world map drawn in 1530 or thereabouts, you find Antarctica is present. The Orontius Phineas map. That map shows Antarctica exactly where it should be. And it shows it, there we go, right-hand side. There's Antarctica at the tip of South America, just south of South Africa.
And what did they call it back then?
Well, they call it the Southern Land. And it's larger than it is today, but it was larger than it is today during the Ice Age. Antarctica was a much bigger. Now, what the is it doing on a map drawn in the 1500s, which we know was based on older source maps when nobody knew it existed in the 1500s? To me, the obvious answer is we are dealing with the fingerprints of a lost civilization that mapped the world and that left evidence of that mapping, which ancient map makers found and used and incorporated into their map.
E agora neste vídeo a pergunta é: do you believe in ghosts? Well, do you? Acredito em fantasmas? Pá, vale o que vale, ou espíritos, ou seja lá o que eles chamarem isto. Este vídeo está engraçado, tá, para mim é fake, mas de qualquer forma está giro, está engraçado. E sendo verdade, é muito esquisito, muito esquisito. Fica aqui o vídeo, espero que gostem, pessoal. Até já.
Y'all
Wait,
gotta watch this.
Say it again.
Y'all gotta watch this.
Prove that you're here.
Look at this.
Why do you keep turning off the TV?
Look at this entity.
Ooh.
Just keep
Hey,
watching.
hon. Come here. Look.
Joe, I can't build that.
I don't think it's just down here.
Watch. Watch this.
Look at that. This is the most active during the day that I've seen. Oh, there goes the Xbox 2. Wait a minute.
You hear that?
Oh, I'm not liking
Watch
this.
this. Watch this.
Oh, wow. Wait. I swear I can see. Ooh, stop it.
What the fuck?
I'm not liking that. Hon, let's go to dinner or something for a while.
What's going on, y'all?
Time to go.
What's going on?
E agora, temos aqui um vídeo que realmente dá que pensar. Cada um de nós, e aposto que vocês, eu acho que no geral toda a gente já se apercebeu disto, que é, parece que o tempo passa cada vez mais rápido. Ainda ontem era dia 1, já estamos a dia 10, passou a correr, e é verdade, parece que o tempo cada vez passa mais a correr. Entretanto, parece que existe uma lógica para isso, ou que tudo indica, existe uma lógica para isso. Fica aqui este videozinho. Este rapazinho também tem muito conhecimento de muita coisa. Penso que até tenho aqui mais um outro vídeo, ainda vou colocar também para vocês verem. Vou tentar colocar todos aqui neste vídeo agora. É muito informativo, muito informativo. Até já, pessoal.
It's become a cliche of our culture that time is speeding up. It actually is speeding up. It's not that it seems like it's speeding up, or it looks like it's speeding up. It is speeding up. We and our entire world are being drawn into confrontation with something that at this level is lost below the event horizon of rational apprehension. That's a fancy way of saying you can't know jack shit about it at this point in time. Nothing can take you by surprise if you've really been paying attention, because everything is preceded by its harbingers and heralds. And we are living in an era now where there is a great deal of apocalyptic expectation, anticipation, and hysteria. The idea of the end of the world always amuses me, because maybe the world will end and maybe it won't end. But have you ever noticed that the end of your world is an absolute certainty?
E agora, deixo-vos aqui dois videozinhos, daqueles videozinhos que dá que pensar. Se me perguntassem a mim, obviamente, eu diria que mesmo que dá mesmo muito que pensar. São dois videozinhos de rajada, espero que gostem. E pensem sobre o caso, digamos assim. Até já, pessoal, espero que gostem destes.
When I was born, I donned a spacesuit for living on this plane. It was this body. This is my spacesuit. And it had a steering mechanism, my prefrontal lobes, and all the brain motors coordinating stuff. And just like those Rusty Schweigert and the others that go to the moon and they wear their uniforms and they learn how to grab things and lift things. So I did that. You know, I learned my prehensile capacities. And I got rewarded. You get little stars and kisses and all kinds of things when you learn how to use your spacesuit. And you get really good at it. You get so good at using your spacesuit that you can't differentiate yourself from your spacesuit anymore. And everybody comes up and says, what a nice suit. And you're constantly looking into other people's eyes to find out if you're really wearing a nice spacesuit. It's what I call somebody training. When you're born, you go into somebody training because your parents know who they are, and they're going to make you somebody too. My parents were very intent on making me somebody. They wanted me to achieve, be responsible, be healthy, be successful, bring pride to them, and if it didn't interfere with any of those, I should be happy. The problem that I experienced, though, was that the suit that I was wearing, it was like you're in one of these suits that doesn't quite fit, and you're a little uncomfortable, and you're constantly trying to readjust yourself. But everybody kept saying, beautiful suit, really impressive suit. You must be very happy. But I wasn't. Now, if everybody you look into their eyes and they tell you you're happy and you're not, because the suit feels so weird, what do you conclude? I felt when everybody said what a nice suit I was wearing, that I must be sick. So I went to an analyst. Now he was wearing another kind of weird suit. See? What he did was he said that for a pittance, he would teach me how to wear his suit instead of my suit. So I learned how to wear his suit, which had even more status more people said beautiful suit. And I really wasn't very happy in that suit either. And you walk down the street and you're somebody. You say, you know who you are. You dress like somebody. Your face looks like somebody. Everything is somebody. Everybody is reinforcing their structure of the universe over and over again. And they meet like two huge things meeting. This is who I am. This is who you are. And we enter in these conspiracies. I'll make believe you are who you think you are. If you make believe I am who I think I am, and we just kind of bump against each other. You can see them in everybody. Everybody's busy being somebody.
Now, in our culture, we've been trained for individual differences to stand out. So you look at each person, immediate hit is brighter, dumber, older, younger, richer, poorer, and we make all these dimensional distinctions, put them in categories, and treat them that way. And we get so that we only see others as separate from ourselves in the ways in which they're separate. And one of the dramatic characteristics of the psychedelic experience is being with another person and suddenly seeing the ways in which they are like you, not different from you.
In that sense, do you believe in old souls?
I believe in momentum. I believe that we have one, right now, where I'm at right now is, I think that consciousness or awareness, or what's called non-conditioned awareness, before the overlay, I think we all share that consciousness. And we're like little ripples in that consciousness, and that's our karma. Mm-hmm. Ripples in this consciousness that we all share. Right. So I think every soul is out, it transcends time. Like, it's all outside of time space. Right. But I guess there could be the potential that certain people's like addiction to rippling to being within the emptiness and having a body and a self and an identity probably keeps them coming back here over and over and over again. That's what I would say. Again, this is a cosmology that is unquantifiable, and I don't think it matters necessarily if it's real or not. At least for me, I use it as a tool to help give me the motivation to be less of an asshole. I mean, and also when you're dying, and you know, whatever the next life may be for you or nothing, who gives a fuck? It's like you reincarnate in a lifetime. Like, you have many incarnations in any given human lifetime. You will go through so many different phases, and the more you gain control of your ability to not react, the more you will inform what you're growing into. The more it is a mindful or intentional personal evolution versus a kind of chaotic, like, mutation based on just you instantly doing everything your brain tells you to do exactly in the moment.
Bem, registro para mim mesmo nunca colocar a cabeça num colidor de partículas. Pronto, essencialmente é um bocadinho assustador, apesar de que correu tudo mais ou menos bem, mais ou menos. Claro que eventualmente correu um bocadinho mais mal do que bem, mas podia ter sido pior. Fica aqui a história de alguém que colocou a cabecinha no colidor de partículas. Enfim, num CERN, não foi no CERN, mas é num CERN, pronto, num género. Enfim.
What happens if you put your head inside of a particle accelerator and turn it on? Kinda like this Hot Wheels loop, particle accelerators accelerate particles to nearly the speed of light. And this guy, Anatoly Bugorsky, was unfortunate enough to stick his head inside of one while it was on, and this is what happened to him. Scientists use these giant circular machines, also known as atom smashers, to see how subatomic particles like protons behave while traveling at the speed of light, doing tests like crashing them into each other and other complex science stuff. And yes, I said at the speed of light. Well, almost. They get it up to like 99.99999% the speed of light, because 100% is still impossible at the moment, but hey, we're getting close. They do this by accelerating subatomic particles like protons in a long circular vacuum tube that's colder than space. They start off in a smaller loop where they use electric currents from really strong batteries to get the particles moving fast, and magnets to keep the particles on a stable path as they curve through the loop to be fed back into the batteries and get even faster. This feedback loop gets them fast enough until they're fed into a bigger loop to reach even higher speeds. And they inject a second set of protons here so they can play Ring Around the Rosie with each other and just keep getting faster. They're then fed into the final loop where the two sets of protons are accelerated in opposite directions so they could collide into each other and do science. This right here would be the Large Hadron Collider, the biggest particle accelerator in the world at 27 kilometers in circumference, where the protons travel the entire circular distance more than 11,000 times per second. So yeah, it's fast. The LHC is in Switzerland and contains 1.8 billion kilometers of wires, enough to go the distance of not around Earth, but of Earth's entire orbit around the sun twice, or from the Earth to the sun and back 6 times. Anyway, so that's cool and all, but now that we know what a particle accelerator is, let's put our head inside of one. On July 13th, 1978, a scientist named Anatoly Bugorsky was working on the U-70 synchrotron particle accelerator just outside of Moscow, which is much smaller at 1.5 kilometers, but the speeds are pretty much the same. So there was an experimentation room in this lab where the accelerated protons are exposed to open air for a brief moment, and they had bare safety measures in place to make sure that no one walks in when a live beam is going. But Bugorsky showed up to the room 5 minutes earlier than he was supposed to. Somebody forgot to lock the door, and the emergency light that signaled a live beam burnt out. Say hello to Murphy's Law. He enters the room and doesn't realize there's a beam of protons traveling through the open air in front of him because they're both silent and invisible. He bends over to have a look at a few monitors and accidentally puts his head directly into the beam of trillions of protons traveling basically the speed of light. That's 76 billion electron volts of energy passing through his skin, skull, brain, and out the other side. But the craziest part? He felt no pain at all, and there wasn't even a hole in his head. That's because protons are so small that they physically passed in between the empty space of the atoms in his own head. And the voltage didn't stop in his head, it just passed right through it, which is why he didn't die from 76 billion volts. All he reported was his entire field of vision being overcome with a light brighter than 1,000 suns, but a light that only he could see. This light was inside of his head. He kinda tripped out for a sec, but once he realized he was fine, he logged the experience and went home without telling anyone. But the next day his head started to swell, so he went to the doctors and they calculated the exact path the protons passed through his head in. Although he survived, in the years to come he lost hearing in his left ear, started having episodic seizures, and the nerves on the left side of his face were destroyed, freezing his facial expression in place for the last 45 years.
Mais videozinho à maneira daqueles que estão cada vez mais atualizados, infelizmente. Queremos tanto a nossa liberdade e cuidamos tanto dela que estamos a entregar bandeja, de mão beijada, porque a segurança é mais importante, o não sei o quê é mais importante, enfim, é tudo mais importante, e a nossa liberdade em vários aspectos, principalmente a liberdade de expressão que a gente deveria poder usar, está cada vez mais controlada. Não se pode dizer nada, não se pode fazer nada, que existem cada vez mais situações que fazem com que saibamos que isto está a ficar muito, muito ditatorial. Mas enfim, fica aqui mais um videozinho, espero que gostem, e a tendência, infelizmente, irá continuar a piorar. Mas é apenas a minha opinião. Até já, pessoal, mais um videozinho, vamos embora.
In the doors of our home being broken down, large, armed or thuggish men entering our house, entering our privacy, and ruining our lives and sending us to jail. So clearly, this is something that our society is determined to stop and to persecute and to demonize. Well, why should it be the case that a sovereign adult who makes a choice to explore the mystery of his or her consciousness using visionary agents while doing no harm to others, why should that person serve a jail term for that? Where's the logic of this? We're supposed to be free. This is a society that claims it's the freest society that's ever existed in the world. And what complete rubbish. It's a society that actively seeks to control and limit the conscious experiences of its members. And that is, in my view, a gigantic invasion of a fundamental human right, which is our right to make choices about our own bodies and our own consciousness, so long as we do no harm to others. And we have plenty of rules already in society that deal with the harm we may do to others. I don't think we need more rules that seek to patrol our consciousness in this way. And anyway...
Ora, estes próximos dois vídeos é o mesmo rapazinho do vídeo 4, é mais aqueles vídeos que nos faz pensar. Isto hoje está um bocadinho filosófico, digamos assim. Mais aqueles videozinhos que nos fazem pensar. Será que é verdade? Será que é mentira? Dá que pensar. Espero que gostem. Vou já colocar os dois vídeos aqui seguidinhos um ao outro, porque é bastante informação e muito boa. Até já.
We are out of control. We are basically severely addicted to things and cannot stop ourselves. And we know, or we should know, that there is not enough petroleum, heavy metal, so forth and so on in the planet to give all the thing addicts all the things that we know they must have in order to be happy. We have spread this intellectual virus from pole to pole, to Turkmenistan and Borneo, to the upper Amazon and to the Tajiks. Everybody wants kids, you know. Everybody wants the pause that refreshes. What are we going to do about this? Well, so far, we've been treating it like an endless garden party. There's no serious plan on the table to deal with this at all. I think that the momentum of human history is pushing us inexorably toward some kind of day of reckoning, and in which we are either going to have to turn consciously toward brutality and selfishness and say, well, let India go, let Bangladesh go, triage, costs too much, can't possibly fix the problem. In order to maintain our locked compounds and our 50 channels of television and the endless availability of arugula, we have to let India go. We're going to have to turn that way. In other words, each consciously participate in a choice to brutalize the human enterprise, or we're going to have to seriously talk about very major restructurings of our society. Where we are headed is toward the solid state, fiber optic, global community of the internet. And when I was in San Francisco 2 weeks ago, the buzz was all about VRML, the virtual language markup the virtual reality markup language whose protocols are being set now so that we will be able to build websites on the net that you can put on your helmet and walk around in. Sun Microsystems is about to introduce something called Hot Java, which will let you build and interact with your website without going through your server. Bandwidth is broadening as we speak. The whole world is being brought into the domain of electricity. And you may not know it, but Marshall McLuhan thought that this was the descent of the Holy Ghost. As a convert to Catholicism, he sort of went the opposite direction.
E agora, para o último vídeo, fica aqui um vídeo que na minha ótica, a minha forma de ver é que realmente o mundo animal protege-se e defende-se e tem uma forma de gerir as coisas muitas vezes muito superior à nossa. Vejam bem uma situação em que um cachalote, uma baleia, enfim, deu à luz. O facto de dar à luz, a quantidade de sangue que vai na água chama predadores, neste caso tubarões, e vejam bem a quantidade de soldados marítimos ou marinhos que vieram em defesa da baleia. Muito, muito, muito fixe. Fica aqui este último vídeo, este é o último de hoje, pessoal. Estou já aqui a preparar o próximo para lançar ainda antes das eleições. Eu gostaria de conseguir antes da eleição, porque vou colocar o primeiro vídeo a meter ferro e a falar da política do voto, digamos assim. Fica aqui o meu abraço e até ao próximo.
So check this video out, y'all. Check this video out, y'all. A whale was giving birth to a baby in the water, and this attracted sharks due to the blood, the smell of blood. And dolphins appeared out of nowhere and formed a circle around the whale and the baby to protect them. Look at that, y'all. Look at the whale. Look at the whale. Look at that. To protect the whale. This is why they want y'all to stay away from dolphins. Look at this. Look at how beautiful this is, man. Wow. And they escorted them off. This is beautiful, beautiful. And to be able to capture this, thank you to the Predator for this. But yeah, man, this is why they want y'all to stay. That's why they want dolphins to stay away from y'all. They want dolphins to stay away from us. We are connected to dolphins. Dolphins are higher versions of us. That's, they speak telepathy. Look at this, y'all. This is beautiful, man. Share this video. Let's get this out there. Look at what dolphins do for us. Look at this. Like, share, and follow for more videos like this. Thank you for tuning into my frequency. Let's get this shift. Peace in.